Okay. The high reliefs are put away. You get to look at elephants. It was either that or Freedom Girls, and I get into the whole
Chris Dwayne
edition.
Yeah. He gets people fired up, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. He completely botched what was a no-brainer and a slam dunk for him.
I know.
Yep. Somebody's coming on with a.
Whoops.
Who's that?
So is that silver hair stacker? There it is.
Hello.
Hello. So just let us know we're live, so or are we already? Well, I know about hot topics. Will start. I mean, if it's okay with you guys, I wanted to keep a close eye on the comment section and kind of talk to people as they pop up and ask questions. I figure there'll be a ton of questions.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you mute that one window, because if you don't pause it, it's going to echo. We kind of learned that the hard way.
Okay, let's see. The Hangout window or the other one?
The YouTube, just hit pause on it, and that way you won't get an echo.
Probably the other one. Let me. Okay. Actually, see, I'm way ahead of you. And then we hit the comment section auto updates. It usually doesn't for me. Yeah. It literally it stagnates for a while, and then I feel like everybody left, and I hit refresh, and there's like 40 comments.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Hey, CCT, how you doing?
Okay, so already the first topic, which is a pretty good one. Oh, there we go. There are no hot topics that I'm aware of. We'll kind of play it by ear. Yeah, we're getting a huge storm too.
Hi, silverfish.
Hello.
I had to dig that one out for you.
All right, which one? What am I looking at here?
If you go to the bottom right screen, that's.
Oh, we got 5 squared. Hey, Al.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Not bad.
There we
Good
go.
morning,
The
Pete.
Bahamas
Hey,
66
silverfish.
50-cent piece. Very nice.
Okay.
All right. So Coin Talk 72 says I've got a good topic: Morgan Peace dolls versus Silver Eagles.
Tonight. Okay. Y'all be careful. Love you. Bye-bye.
So that's the thing. I mean, Morgans obviously have a limited supply. If you can get them for a good price, you buy them every time.
Was there a place that you go to figure out what a reasonable premium is for them?
I personally look around online. I never fund for a good price. My local coin shop has really stayed stubbornly high ever since silver dropped from about 30. So I've kind of given up on them. So basically, they're the same prices that everybody else sees.
I always had a little bit of trouble judging quality. You know, I know that the mintage, the year is pretty important, but I've never been able to really discern what constitutes, you know, 63 grade from a 62 grade or a 61. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Plus, you put yourself at the mercy of the guy with the loop, too.
Yeah, right. I mean, at least with the Silver Eagle, you know that you're going to be gouged on every one, right?
Yes. So a 6-1 wants to know if we would buy 20 British Year of the Horses or 20 Kooks with the Dragon Privies right now. I mean, that's kind of a toss-up. I mean, the Kooks with the Dragon Priv, well, are they the same price is the question, right?
Yeah.
The Kooks with the Dragon Privies, I think if you can get those, that's what you want to buy. If they're the same price. I think they would be the same price, though. Silver Siren is saying that the 2014 Britannias have an error. Or the horses
Yeah,
do as well.
they mismatched the obverse dies. The obverse die for the Britannia they used on the Lunar Horse, and the Lunar Horse die they used on the Britannia.
Oh,
somehow.
Wow.
And they made it out of the mint?
They what, sorry?
And they made it outside of the mint?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, any manufacturing facility now, I don't care what it is, you're going to have quality issues. And it's just not a surprise that that stuff escapes. Wow, he's saying that the Year of the Horses are a little more than the Dragon Privy. Yeah, I'd buy those Kooks with the Dragon Privy at a time.
I haven't even got a lonesome falcon yet, let alone a mint sheet.
And Numismatic King was talking about those. He feels
Yeah,
that they're
he
going
got
to go
the
up.
sheet.
Yeah, he feels that they're going to go up in price though, pretty ridiculously. So, I don't know about that. I don't think they're going to go 4 or 5 times over the price of the regular shop because they're in thermal sheets. But apparently the people of...
How about the Falcons with the special time release security feature?
Yeah.
Time release?
Those milk spots will just all of a sudden creep up on you.
Apparently they've already been spotted.
What's that? Yeah, it depends. I mean, some of them, they wait a while. I mean, I have a lot of moose that were pristine when I got them, and all of a sudden they started developing milk spots. It really soured me on Canadian silver. The gold, awesome, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think for my market, I'm going to really do well with them. I'm looking to sell them for about $70.
Well, that's awesome. Then it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because the Canadian proofs don't seem to have that milk spot issue, do they?
I have that their premium silver does not. So then the question is, how are they preparing the blanks differently that keeps the milk spots from coming? And why aren't they looking at their manufacturing process a little bit harder to avoid milk spots on their regular bullion?
Well, apparently they have looked at it, but so I've read.
Look at it a little harder.
Exactly. Silver Siren thinks they do on purpose, yeah. Yeah, they want us to pay more, yeah, for the proofs.
So a 6-pack for you is back on the Cooks with the horse privies instead of the dragon. So here's the thing: the new new Kook design is very popular, and then you throw the year of the horse on it. I think that's definitely going to be a winner down the road. I have no doubt that there's going to be a lot of silver this year that's looked upon favorably in the next couple of years, and it's all available right now. So.
It was actually, when I bought them, they were actually selling for cheaper than the bullion. I got them for about 25 or 26.
Yes. Yep. They're priced right in line with the regular Kooks, or even a little bit cheaper, and an easy buy.
Horse to shoe error.
Show.
He said shoe. Horse shoe.
It's British spelling. They like to pronounce everything they spell.
Floodgates are now open. So Silverfish, how are some of your older Lunars doing?
Not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, all I have are really are the dragons and the snakes. Basically, anytime I buy any. I'm sorry?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, anytime I buy any of the older coins, it's usually for the kids. They both collect the Lunar Series 1, and it's kind of like a special occasion once a year kind of thing.
And how long do you plan on waiting before you turn them over?
I was thinking just a couple more years. I could see like the year of the dog being big. I don't see the point of doing it next year. I think the year of the goat is going to be a down year for Lunar. So I'd like to see the next popular design come around, and then I could flip them and buy extra of that year. I mean, that's the plan anyway. Oh, so we get to see if Salivate can sustain the voice through a whole chat.
I'd like to thank you all. I appreciate you letting me come on the chat. I hope you all have a nice evening. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
That was quick.
Hello, everybody. Hello, silverfish. Good to see you, my friend.
Good seeing
Hi
you.
everybody. Sergeant, this is
And
Maximus
hello,
here.
everybody
Hello.
else as well.
Hey, Salivate.
So yeah, you're the dog being a big winner again, and at that point, you know, I would be able to get more ounces of the dog by selling some of the older Lunars. Kind of how I visualize it. Who knows? A lot can change.
Hmm.
But I was happy for a pretty good price after basically I mean, when they first released them, the price was ridiculous, and when it came back down to reality, I was pretty happy to scoop some up.
You still buying those fractional gold Lunars?
Yeah, whenever I find them, I mean, it's not really the if I find any for a reasonable price, I'll buy them. I think I have 8 so far, so I have a ways to go to get the whole set. I mean, it was funny because it originally started. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they asked me what I collected, and I really kind of thought about it. I was like, I don't really collect anything yet. You know, there wasn't a set that I was aggressively trying to complete. And then I hadn't really bought any gold yet, and I saw the 1/10 ounce Lunars, and I was like, okay, this is it. I'd like to pick these up. The older years are pretty tough, though. Pretty low mintages, and
Are you trying to obtain the Lunar Series 1 and 2 silverfish, or just the 2?
yes, both.
They're beautiful coins, and it certainly is a much more affordable way, but like you said, a lot of the earlier years are difficult to find, it seems, at a good price.
Yep. You know, it's one of those things. When you start collecting something, you have this like compulsive need to complete the set as quickly as you can. And I'm perfectly fine with kind of slowing it down here and saying, you know what, even if it's only 4 or 5 a year, that's fine, and eventually the set will be complete. I don't need to rush out and try to do it in 3 weeks. You know, it's weird. Let down.
I can certainly empathize
sorry.
with that. I can certainly sympathize with that because I ran into the same situation for my pet project, so to speak, is collecting the modern commemorative coins in proof condition. And that's a never-ending series because every year they come out with something new. And whether I like the design or not, or whether it's a very rare coin or not, I need to get them to complete the collection.
See, that is the
Right.
problem with a collection, isn't it? You feel constrained to have one of everything or a set number of everything.
Yeah, you know, when I decided not to pursue the collections was when I started actually with the Lunar 2 ounces. I think I started with the Tiger, and then I found out that I couldn't complete the collection without buying the mouse and the ox at $250 a piece.
Wow. Wow.
So, you know, that kind of taught me a lesson that you want to get in on the first 1 or 2, and then catch everybody else that wants to complete the collection.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
My issue was kind of opposite in that, you know, I had the collection, but then people were offering me a lot of money for it, and I just couldn't resist. I mean, to me, it was, I don't know, I could go buy gold with it or something else.
There you go.
So see, that was, and Belange P, that was exactly the thought process that got me to change what I buy. You know, when I first bought a couple of Perth Mint coins, I was like, wow, these are gorgeous, and I'd like to get some prior years, and the prices were absurd. And I was like, well, this just doesn't make sense to pay through the nose for these. But gee, why don't I be the guy that buys them the year they come out, and then, you know, be waiting for people that are excited to go to buy back years and take advantage of that.
Right.
It is tempting. You
So
know,
a 6
if you buy the low mintage ones or the restricted mintage ones, you can offload and rotate into the next year's or the year after. Always unloading the stuff which you bought about 2 years ago of limited production, and then just getting the latest.
Exactly. Buy it when it's cheapest and take advantage of the rising premiums.
Ooh, CCT.
So
You
a
got
6-pack for you is asking me if I'm.
there's the Britannia, and if I can get up close enough, you can see the castling round there. See the castling round the edge there.
Oh yes, I see that.
Now here's the lunar horse without the castling.
Right.
Right, that's the horse. This coin was minted with that obverse with the castling, and this Britannia, some of those were minted without the castling.
Very interesting. I wonder how many of those are in existence.
Don't know.
Well, in a few years, they might be worth something.
And they may not.
Yeah.
Yeah, does that make them
does
more
it
rare?
like
Well,
Anything with the Queen's image has to be worth a lot, right?
You reckon?
Well, it seems to me that in the recent bear market for silver, that numismatics fell by a greatly reduced amount than, let's say, the bullion coins. Now, I await to see when a substantial price rise appears, what the relationship between the two will be.
between the numismatics and the and just the bullion?
Exactly.
I always feel, my thought is that numismatics will always be in existence except for the better bullion and maybe some of the lower premium numismatic coins, essentially like silver dollars or the like, that get melted down if a spot price goes above a certain dollar amount. But nonetheless, I think numismatics are here to stay unless there's a total economic collapse, which I think is highly doubtful. But there's always the realm of possibility for the two to bleed over or to merge, so to speak, in time. But I think generally overall, I think you're going to find that people who invest in numismatics are doing just that. They're investing in something beyond the intrinsic. And I think that's important, even for some of the purists out there who are just into stacking, that there is something to be said for the numismatic community, and we've seen some crossover. I've even witnessed it here on YouTube.
Well, once you've stamped it with one of these special designs, it kind of segregates it from all other uses, right? It's no longer metal that's available for industry. The pre-circulated, U.S. coins are a lot different because they were in circulation because they were used as money, and once they stopped circulating as money, people felt free to melt them down as soon as they thought it was advantageous to do so. Right? Whereas these semi-numismatic coins, I think, are basically meant to be held.
They're a product which is one step further removed from the bullion than let's say, the bullion coins themselves. Very true. But also the brand image or the brand loyalty tends to be geographically related. So in the US, for example, there is a great demand for numismatic or historical US silver and gold. Whereas if you take the view that there will be a global depression in the West and a global expansion in the East, maybe it's fair to say that we should be looking at historical Eastern coins for our collections if we want to go numismatic rather than bullion.
I think the geographic element or the spatial element to this is certainly fascinating and important, but nonetheless, I think you find the same thing with modern numismatics as well. For instance, you may find the New Zealand bullion coins more popular, in the southwestern portion of in the southern hemisphere, Australia, New Zealand, and the like, and whereas the lunar series. The lunar series from the Perth Mint, they're essentially worldwide, but there's certainly that geographic element plays a part in the availability of a piece, but also certainly it does for numismatics as well, for the reasons you state, about the Eastern based old coinage and so forth and so on. I do think the old American coins, the pre-1933 gold, the old silver pieces, those transcend as well, but it just depends on what market it is. But most of the world markets do recognize those, and so I don't know how that would play out. They may pay a bit more of attention to them in Western Europe or United States than China, so to speak. But it just, I guess it's a cultural thing, probably.
It seems to me that the focus on the historical silver seems to be more U.S. centric, possibly, than I mean, there is a lot of, with all the fragmented nationalities which have been historically in Europe down the ages. There's a great history of numismatic coinage in EU, which I have to say I haven't really got in more than superficially into finding out what is what and what is appreciated and in great demand. I'm only beginning to, let's say, be sensitive to that issue.
Oh yeah, there's certainly a lot of different numismatic potential or numismatic variety in Eastern Europe and even the Mid East and the as well as the East and the Orient. It's fascinating. There is certainly a lot of information out there, and I believe there's several world coin publications out there that assess the value of those coins. There's I think it's called World Coins. I forget who the publisher is, but a very popular publisher in numismatics that has a really thick book, and it's probably online now. They probably don't even make those books anymore, but they talk about, or they showcase coins and catalog them pre-1900, post-1900, that type of thing. And there's plenty out there for sure, and it's all important and it's all valuable. I certainly don't say that the U.S. stuff is better, so to speak, than the other, and I think it's all important, and I think it's all good.
I have a fascination myself with Roman coinage and Byzantine coinage, but I must admit that the presence of forgeries and counterfeits is off-putting.
It is difficult. Plus, not only that, but it was only since the 80s and 90s that hordes of those coins were found. And I remember a day when those coins were very difficult to find and very expensive for like a silver denarius and that type of thing. You could find those coins not less than $100 in the 80s. Once they found these hordes of them, you could find a silver denarius or an equivalent for about $35. So it's just depends on what they find and how the flooded the market gets and so forth. But it's all fascinating, and you're right. The forgeries certainly is a concern as well.
It's an interesting thing, but the commentary, the economic commentary on the printing of money and the quantitative easing and all of that has, in actual fact, performed as a de facto informational service about historical empire coins, in particular the Roman Empire. Because I think so many people are now aware of the way the Romans debased their coins as the hundreds of years went by. The silver content went down, the coins got bigger and smaller, and then new ones were brought out. And there's a greater familiarity among people now than ever was before, I think, as a result of what's happening around us.
I agree, and it certainly is global, it seems. It's not isolated to any particular area. It seems like it is a global crisis with the money, and I think you're right. People are becoming aware, and it's exciting to see the community growing and folks gaining knowledge in that aspect, because certainly the debasement of our money is a growing concern.
Sorry.
And we have seen quick growth too. I mean, that always encourages me, seeing all the new people coming to the community. Constant. I always get emails. I just bought my first silver. I bought my first gold.
Yeah, I remember sending you that email. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, I think it really depends on the market that you sell it to. We know that there's a couple of up and coming markets, and it's expensive to buy the American coins because everyone's looking for them. What I find here that it's really cheap for me to buy, to get the British trade dollar, for me to get the rupees, because maybe not that many people look for it, but the nostalgia is there. When my mom saw, a couple of the coins that I had, she wanted to give them out to her friends because this was the money that they were using back in the day and so forth and so on. So I think if we go, if you target markets that are up and coming, they still haven't, those coins haven't become popular, you can get them for almost spot or below spot.
Well, I think we can say that the inflation appears to be a global thing, but in the emerging markets, they probably have an earlier appreciation of the damage it does, in the sense that the Eastern countries have certainly had their dose of it first. So if you look beyond, looking beyond the specialist coin collecting community, it's probably fair to say that the average Joe in India has a better idea of the value of, say, silver than the same person on the streets of the UK, Ireland, or America.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing is, the market here, they're selling bullion here. Bullion silver American Eagles are being sold in shops here for $80. And I'm selling them to the store owners for $50 and $55. So, people are buying bullion coins in the Middle East for $80 to $100.
And that is fascinating. It seems like that, in Dubai and in Qatar, you're finding that gold has a much smaller spread over premium to, for the above spot price. You can buy it for 2% over spot, but yet silver is very difficult to come by. It has these huge premiums, and that is fascinating me.
And to me, it's kind of shocking because, like you said, it's 1% to 2% that we're buying the gold, and there's usually 100, 200 stores that sell gold within one area. But there's only 1 or 2 stores that are selling silver, and they're demanding a much higher premium. And it's here. It's not seen as a savings or something. It's it's seen as someone trying to show off or build a collection. And they're paying ridiculous money for it.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to see premiums for silver as low as you will gold because, you figure what it takes to coin some metal, on a much higher base in terms of cost of the base metal or the precious metal. Your fixed cost is much lower in terms of a percentage, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to cost less to transport it. It's going to cost less to store it. That's why you see premiums on silver that are like 15%, where gold's maybe 2 or 3.
One thing that I'm encouraged by is we had a bit of a... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that there is also the possibility of the fact that the platinum coins being more expensive to mold and press, just being harder and higher melting point, they naturally attract a premium, a manufacturing premium over spot price. But that's totally separate from any premium that would be coming from the retail side.
Right.
I don't have any platinum coins, and it's something I want to fix.
One thing that I'm encouraged by is I feel like silver and gold had a bit of a lost generation. Generation X and Generation Y, they really didn't even consider buying silver or gold. The stock market was performing so well. What was that? The stock market was performing so well, and silver sat dead for years and years and years. And you really rarely saw people buying huge quantities of silver. There was no term stacker. And if you talk to somebody older, they all knew the value. And now you have a whole generation of kids coming up that have known nothing but a bad economy, and they're starting to get it.
Well, for years it was kind of a something-for-nothing mentality, right? You put $10 into the stock market, wait 30 years, and retire off of it. At least that's what people were telling everybody.
They sure were.
Right? And pretty soon we're going to get to a place where, not going up is not a bad thing if everything else is going down.
Wealth preservation.
What is that, Elevate?
Hello, Silver Hair. How are you doing?
I'm good. What is that?
This is me. This is a picture of me, and when I'm getting really sleepy, I look like this. And when I'm really happy, I look like this. So this is not me with silver hair. This is me with golden hair.
Hey, Salivate.
Yes, sir.
You know that Saudi coin that you once had with the guy explaining what it was, the Aramco coin?
Yes, I do remember that coin. Yes.
Some guy just walked in today with 50 of them.
Whoa!
And he
Wow.
also had some United States Assay Office of New York old gold bars.
Whoa! That's amazing.
He had about 15 or 20 of those, and then, or about 30 actually of those, and then he also had some gold pesos, like another 50 of them, and maybe over 100 sovereigns.
Were
so
those graded at all? Or were they raw? Were they raw or graded?
All of them were raw. They belonged to his father, who was a vice president of Aramco, and had just recently passed away.
Wow! Wow! Fascinating.
So I'm hoping he'll give them to me at spot, and I'm going to trade every pant bar that I have for everything that I can get.
Oh yeah, I think if you get those and send them off to PCGS or NGC, you will come out way ahead on that deal. And hopefully the grading companies won't be too picky about the grade.
The thing is, I'd be scared with the bars to send them out.
Right. Oh, I understand that. Yeah, I'd be very leery too. You might want to wait. Well,
I was thinking of auction sites, like contacting the Sotheby's or someone like that.
Yes, I was gonna suggest that and have them either auction them for you at a coin show, like a larger show, because usually those larger shows, Sotheby's or Stacks and Bowers, they will do those auctions there on site.
The only problem I have is I think I'm going to be able to only get like 2, because the smallest one he has is like 6.5 ounces or 7 ounces.
Right.
And then they just go up in size from that. So I'm trying to get maybe 2 or 3 of the Aramco coins for my own collection, and then a bar for my own collection, and then try to get a couple more to sell.
You have some Aramco discs?
Yeah, I've got a guy walked in today with almost 50 Aramco discs and about 20 to 30 of these New York assayed bars that weigh between 6 ounces and go upwards.
Oh wow, those Aramco discs are fascinating.
Yes, they sure are. They're very interesting pieces. Well, fellas and lady, I want to thank you very much. I really do need to go now. I've got to try to get some physical exercise in on the elliptical. But I want to thank you all, and it's good to see everybody and hear everyone. And thank you again, and good to see you, Silverfish. And is this your very first chat?
It is. A multitude of stopping by.
A multitude of gratitude to you all as well. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Elevate.
Goodbye, Salivate.
Goodbye.
That guy stays busy.
I hope he's right about those Zeus coins.
Yeah, you got several.
Yeah, I've got 6 of them.
Man. I'd love to have one, but I can't afford a quarter ounce of gold to get one.
Yo. The infamous Silverfish. I finally get a chance to chat. What's good, bro?
Not too much, Frank. We're about to hammer without a foot of snow.
Yeah, I'm in Rochester, New York, so I'm like not too far from you in Vermont.
You're already getting in.
No, we went from having beautiful skies in about 40, and it's the cloud cover is over, and it's cooling down. So yeah, we're supposed to start. Hi, Cybercurtain. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Al. We're trying. They said it's going to start raining here. Over the overnight, and then into the morning, we're going to just start turning into snow.
Yeah, it's only supposed to be 70 here tomorrow.
Oh, you suck.
It got pretty cold today at 90.
Yeah.
Sun wouldn't go down until 8 at night.
So I have a question for you. one thing that I like to kind of follow on my channel is the level of discourse and how people, when their emotions are running wild on us. And I noticed recently it's gotten a little bit better, but people were at each other's throats for a while. Do you notice that on your channels, or?
No.
It seemed like there's a lot of backlash. Oh yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of backlash on silver channels not too long ago.
You can almost plot the bottoms and the price by the number of trolls that enter into the setup thread on TFMR. Normally they're intimidated to try, but at certain times they kind of get a bit gleeful. I think it's probably the word I'll use, and they sort of, the more forward ones will dive in. Around the end of the year was classic.
Yeah. Hey, Fi, by the way, I hear your voice. I don't know if you remember me.
Oh, that's me. Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah,
man?
it comes out as Phi on Google Plus. It's Argentus Maximus everywhere else. So.
Ah, okay.
I don't know. I don't seem to be able to stop Google Plus calling me Phi. I think I'm stuck with that.
Hey, they call me Big.
Mr. Big. That's like big time, right? Mr. Big Time.
I dread to think when it calls me.
But we could almost make a forum indicator out of the activities of the extreme posts if we found a way of counting them.
I actually don't pay them any attention. The whole point of me watching these channels is to be able to learn, and that's what I do. It's not for me to let you make the decision for me, but it actually helps me when I see the coin and you talk about it. You're giving me the history of it. It saves all that time and effort and energy. I might not listen to everything that you say, but sometimes, I don't know about something.
Okay.
So maybe I will take it, one of the hints or something like that, or a suggestion. Definitely, there was a couple of negatives, especially when the Zom buffs, I think, or one of those coins came out. People were talking, people were for it, some were against it, and stuff like that. But everyone's just giving their opinion. That's why I like it.
Silverfish, I've been seeing you hitting those high relief coins hard, man.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, they are sharp.
The thing was, I wanted a signature piece. I started. This isn't something that I'd buy right out of the gates, right? You definitely need a base stack to start. But then I was starting to think about something that had big upside to it, and it just seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah, you swung
between
for the
low mint. Yeah, between the low mintage, the built-in fan base for the Lunar series, and the fact that they are absolutely spectacular. I mean, they're really the nicest looking coins that I have by far, and it just seemed like it has winner written all over it.
Silver Siren, why are you goofing on me? I haven't bought any silver yet. I've been in here the last 3 days, driving everybody crazy about what I should buy. I think I'm gonna get some of those maples, Al.
Yeah, those maples. You should have gone for those.
Yeah, it's still the same price.
Did you see the AppMex has got a sale for like $22 on the Sunshine.
Yeah, but you can get the maples for the same price basically.
I think they were like $2 more.
No.
So Frank, you have about
it's $23 for the silver maples right now. And the whoa. And
someone's turned the apps on.
He hasn't purchased them yet, guys.
No, I'm probably going to.
So Frank, you haven't bought anything yet?
Nope, I've been in here picking everybody's brains.
Honestly, I don't think the maples are not a bad first purchase at all. I mean, the new 2014s with the security feature, I think, are a great buy.
Yeah.
What, the milk spots or the security feature?
Well, yeah, I mean, right. In all honesty, understand it's a pretty important distinction between buying maple leaves and buying semi-numismatic Canadian bullion, hoping for a large premium increase.
But the 2014s, I haven't seen any videos with them having milk spots.
Well, they'll be there.
Yeah,
but if you're buying maples, I mean, who cares if there's some milk spots? Because the broker is going to buy them back from you at spot, maybe even lower.
Yes.
Very true.
Right.
And the same applies to Philharmonics or Eagles or any bullion coin.
Yeah. So I think it's important, as Silverfish said, to understand the reason why you're buying these things. You know, if you're buying it strictly for saving, then buy the bullion, buy it as close to spot as you can. In fact, try to even get some gold that has some tax favored status, like the gold Eagles, which aren't reportable upon sale. If you're going for rate of return, probably the semi-numis are a good way to go.
I mean, that's actually one of the issues that I have, is that I can't define myself yet. You know, I started off, buying bullion because I was doing it for my savings, but then I started liking some of the higher premium coins. Then it became too expensive. It wasn't too expensive, but it was, the percentage that I was paying with the premium was very high. And on silver, I just felt like dumb paying that high of a price. But then when I started flipping them and getting money back, it just made it so I have a collection of what I want, like one coin of everything, and then I have things for savings and then things for selling.
It's always an interesting reminder just to look at what the same dealer will buy it back from you, what you're thinking of buying from them.
Yeah.
At the point of purchase, it's a salutary lesson when you see something priced at maybe double spot, and then the buyback price is spot, and it tends to wake you up a little bit at that moment.
Yeah. You also have to take a look at the footnotes too. For example, if you go to APMEX, you'll see that gold Eagles, for example, will be 5 or 6% above spot. The buyback price will be maybe 3% above spot, so it's a 3% spread, but you have to sell in lots of $10,000 or more in order to get that deal.
Are you guys okay if I zip through the comment section real quick?
Go for it.
Okay, so Chris D says that OPMs are first buy 75 cents over spot and no shipping charges. I mean, those are a pretty good generic round. Let me see. Somebody said that high relief is too expensive, and absolutely, that's not for everybody. That's not something that I would focus on exclusively. That is, to use a baseball analogy, it's 3-0, and I'm swinging for the fences on that one. That's all. I'm certainly not going to stack something like that. People are talking about their goals, which I'm obviously a big believer in. New Zombucks, April 1st, yeah, the new design, which will probably be unveiled within a couple weeks or so. I think they do it a week before they go on sale. Are there any new silver products coming out soon that you guys are excited about? So, not that we know of. All the design changes start being announced around August, September or so, and that's always fun. And somebody said James Austin said I sound like a robot. I got auto-tune on, so these aren't my real vocals. And the Salivate fan club weighed in. So that's it. So that's it for the comment section. I just want to make sure that I paid attention to it and answered anything that came up.
So sorry.
Is there an elephant in the room or what?
Yeah.
A Somali elephant.
I was making dinner. I had to make some dinner for my daughter. So what did I miss? You guys were talking about the maples.
Peregrine.
Oh, the peregrines. Yeah. What do you guys think of them? Goodbye.
I bought a few.
I bought a roll.
Of which?
The Falcons.
Oh, the Falcons. They look lovely.
Yeah, these.
Yeah, they seem like a pretty decent buy. Yeah, the new ones.
Frank, if you're getting started and you're looking for something to get started with, maybe you should just look at the rounds, sunshine rounds, or something that is. I mean, bars are a bit anonymous, and quality control at the point of sale might prevent people from buying them. But rounds have that stamp of authenticity that a coin has. It's kind of brand quality trademark. And there are certain well-known rounds which they're available at good prices. And if you're kind of starting from nowhere, it's a good way to get going. To look essentially at the cheapest bullion, which is clearly marked.
Right.
Yeah. Hey Frank, you're in Rochester, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your tax rate there? Sales tax.
Sales tax, 8%.
8%. Can you save up enough cash to buy over $1,000?
Not right this second, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you're going to get hit with sales tax on any purchase under $1,000, and that's going to hurt quite a bit if you're doing this for savings. And then don't forget about the spread. If you're buying silver, you're going to be facing a spread when you sell of 15%. So when you tack that 8% onto your 15%, you're talking about losing 23% right off the bat. So if possible, if you're looking at savings, one strategy you might want to consider is save up enough so that you can buy in large quantities. That'll reduce your spread on silver. And if you buy gold, you also have the benefit of it being non-reportable if you buy the right kind.
Uh-huh. I thought if I bought it online, I wouldn't pay sales tax.
If you buy APMEX, Frank, they have a New York office, and because they have a New York presence, they have to charge sales tax to New York residents. If you buy, you wouldn't have to pay that sales tax.
Yeah, Providence got the deal on the Maples right now, and Gainesville.
Yeah, and the other
Gainesville,
thing
their shipping is so high.
Yeah, Providence was like $6 if I ordered like 5 or 6 maple leaves.
Yeah. You also want to consider the shipping costs. Shipping can be a very big percentage of a silver purchase because of the bulk and the weight that needs to get shipped.
Yeah.
And generally, the larger the quantity you purchase at a single time, the less that's going to cost you.
Yeah, I kind of calculated it out for like 5 or 6 coins. It was going to be like $24 for maple leaves per coin shipped.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're doing it onesies, twosies, you may end up actually between spread, the taxes, the shipping costs, and everything else. It could cost you
buy a roll
30% right off the bat.
So I should probably try to buy like a roll at a time, or a tube, I mean.
Depends on your purpose. Are you buying this to build up your savings, or are you buying this for flipping later on? I mean, are you looking at the numismatics?
Mostly for savings.
For savings, yeah. You probably want to try to make your purchases large and try to stay as close to bullion as you can. You know, stay with plain stuff that's easily marketable, things with a very low spread.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get some of the premium stuff too eventually. Like me and Big Al were talking, like the British Mint there, the Year of the Horse coins that they have. I thought, like me and Big Al were talking about how they got the proofs at Silvertown, and I was thinking about buying a couple of proofs, for my daughters for long term. Too, and then
proofs make nice gifts. Also, I mean, the Lunars make lovely gifts too.
Especially since it's the first of the series. I mean, that's what attracted us to it.
Yeah, that's exactly. Remember, we were kind of talking about that. So kind of like as a supplemental thing, but took a while, yeah. Yeah, everyone seems to have the lunar stuff going,
Yeah, everybody's a year of something.
There is also the point that if you're selling directly into the market, let's say, for example, eBay, then you would be selling at the price that the dealers are asking rather than the dealers are offering. And the spread becomes something that you can kind of work with to try and encourage a sale. But it does mean that you're standing up from the very word go and you're saying, I'm going to be dealing with unknown persons when I want to sell this stuff, as opposed to I'm going to bring it back to the dealer and get my cash. And that is something that you might like to consider up front before you walk into one or other of the situations.
Yeah.
Because if you say pay, let's say you have a 15% premium, let's say there's postage and there's a premium on something, and that's gone. Well, you have to get 17.6%, nearly 18% of a price rise before you're back to break even. Now, is it going to rise more than 18%? Well, yeah, it is, but like you're starting from way behind, you know.
Yeah.
It's like going down to the bank, putting a deposit in, and day one the guys take, you know, nearly a 50 or money away. They, okay, let the interest earn that back, and soon you'll be rich. You just got to bear these things in mind. You know, the spread is taken out in advance if you're bringing it back to a dealer, but maybe not at all if you're selling it privately.
And I think that's the importance of keeping records. I mean, I know some people don't keep records, but I keep a record of every coin that I bought and how much I bought it for, and when I sell them, how much I sold them for. So basically, you know, if I needed to sell all my silver today, and I got, you know, $52 for my Zeus coin, I would be happy because that's my break-even point. It's not the price that I bought a Zeus coin for. That's, you know, from selling and doing all these other things. That's what I'm down to.
Yeah. I'm going to be in trouble.
Just in case the NSA is listening, I pay taxes on every single sell, and I take immaculate records. Just saying.
Me too.
Of course they're listening.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be a troublemaker.
Google Nazis are.
Yeah. I'm going to be a troublemaker and throw this out. Maybe it'll start some interesting conversation. A comment was made earlier, I think it was you, Arjun, that said that during this bear market in silver, the numismatics fell less than the bullion. So we believe that silver and gold are now very close to the minimum valuation that they're going to get to, and that this is a bottom and we're going to soon face the next leg up. What will do better, semi-numis, numismatics, or bullion?
Well, there's two things, isn't there? One is there's rarity, and the other is demand. And demand is going to be achieved by, let's say, a kind of marketing. So you have to look at what will the people who aren't in this, what are they going to ask for when they get in? You know, the novice. If it's a wealthy novice, they might go for high numismatics. But if it's a basic novice, they might go for what is well known. In which case, American Eagles, Philharmonics, Maple Leafs. It's a hard one to be sure about. I mean, and then there's the archaeological value of very old coins, which we kind of tend not to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's such a huge subject on its own. I think maybe not a good time now. But historical significance in each country tends to produce an audience for that type of item.
Well, I mean, if you look at, let's look at it from a different perspective. Let's look at it from the luxury watch segment, which had almost died out during the 80s and 90s, and now is, you know, completely back, and they're selling $1 million watches again. You know, and the reason why they're doing that is because of these new markets that are up and coming. So, you know, you've got the Chinese, the Indians, and we talked about the Russians, the Brazilians. There's a lot of people that are coming up from middle classes, and they're now starting to be attracted to these things. So I think, and this is just from what I see here, it's the semi-news. You know, it's not the old stuff that they want. It's the new, shiny, in perfect condition. Just like, you know, when silverfish today. I mean, I'm not going to go and collect the high reliefs, but he's doing the right thing, I think, because I think there will be a Chinese person or an Asian person or someone who would buy that and would come in and buy it completely. I mean, look at the real estate that's in London or the art that's being bought today. They're buying up everything and anything that they can get their hands on for ridiculous amounts of money.
So that brings up an important point about numismatics. You know, as a small guy, right? Not literally, figuratively. You know, I don't really think in terms of thousands of dollars worth of coins. But you go on eBay and you can see $19,000 Morgans being sold. There are people with absurd amounts of money, and this is what they buy. They don't buy 30 monster boxes of Eagles. You know, they're looking for high-grade numismatics, and it's absurd the amount of money that they'll throw at these things.
Yeah, it's the same thing with wealthy people who buy high-end Krieghoff shotguns or Parazzi. You know, $20,000 over/under shotguns that you and I could never afford.
So if you can get in on the bottom floor on something, you just jump all over it and then ask questions later. In this case,
you know, our old British side-by-side shotguns. You know, the Purdy's or the Holland and Hollands.
Well, I think what you also have to think about is when you find these things. I mean, we talk about buying and selling, but for me, it's easy because I know the right market for these high-end stuff, so I can go get it for cheap and sell it to them for very high. So it's knowing the I mean, you know, having the connections to those people that will buy these things at high prices from.
All right, who's got the Casio watch over there? That's swag right there.
Mine's not as fancy as his.
Yeah, we went
I'm
from
having a little bit of banter with Silver Hairstacker there.
we went from like the Rolex on one side of the screen to the Casio.
I think we just learned something. You can afford more metal if you don't buy Rolexes.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know it's a
just-
Rolex, so I'm okay.
I'll be back in a minute. I gotta go take care of something.
So just going back to wow. Okay, so just going back to Blanche P's original question about what will perform better, you know, so the question I have is, at what point would you have been better off buying generics over pandas? Like, pick a year. And I don't think there is one. At what point would you have been better off buying generics over the Lunar series? Again, I don't think there is one. It's part of the reasons that I've really soured on generics is, you know, if we're talking about buying for a spectacular move up, then you're going to be greatly disappointed if you don't get that price move. And with the way that the miners are still pulling out 800 million ounces out of the ground, supply is there. So that's one of the reasons I like to focus on silver that will have expanding premiums, even in a flat to slightly up or slightly down.
Very true. You've got limited supply of the item you're dealing in, and yet it is able to take a base value from the metal. Now, the other side of that coin, which must be balanced against it, is the desire of the buyers. Now, people tend to have a fond notion towards that which was around and precious when they were young. So for every type of coin, there will be a time, there will be a demographic moment when the retirees of that generation savor its qualities more. And after that, it becomes a historical artifact, less known by the ones that follow. You know, I'm thinking of, I don't know, what were like Grandad and the Model Railway for the grandchildren, or something like that. But there are age groups, and it will feed back when you start looking at numismatics, especially if you're talking about dated ones. So you should also be doing, you should be saying something like, you know, who is my demographic and what will they like? It's a fat question, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a very important question.
And a difficult one to answer.
Well, the James Bond movies, for example, James Bond always got his sovereigns in his little Q pack he was given from Q. I mean, there are millions of people around the world who know exactly what a British sovereign is, even though they've never seen one in physical.
Mm-hmm.
Sovereigns may not be a quarter ounce, they may not be a modern thing, but you know what? They're still selling them by the bucket loads.
Yeah.
I wonder what the sales of sovereigns are compared with quarter ounce gold Britannias, for example. I wonder. But that's the thing, you know, product placement in films is a classic example of what I mean.
I mean, we've got restrike sovereigns here. They make them by the millions. You know, people still collect the restrikes and go in and buy it, and they know it's a restrike that was made here locally.
Right. And of course, sometimes it's just time elapsing, right? I mean, you have a specific date on a coin. Take these folks in Northern California who just found that stash in their, what was it, their backyard?
And then they turned it into paper dollars as soon as they could. Yeah.
Did they sell it?
Well, I think it's up for sale.
Yeah, they handed it over to like one of the grading companies or something, and they're selling it.
Yeah. What did they have? Like $24,000 face worth of gold coins?
I believe it was $27,000 face with a potential value of $10 million on the auction market.
Okay,
Amazing.
So
and you know what? I tell you what. that font to put a beating on me because I have developed an absolutely lust for those 1800s double eagles, the Liberty heads. I just think they're spectacular.
So let's see, $27,000 space. That's 1,500 coins, 1,500 ounces.
Yeah, you don't know
what
what
make us do
27,000 one ounce for a double eagle. Is that right?
Yeah, you're the engineer. Go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta wonder about who this person was that was socking this away. I mean, 1,500 gold coins back in the day in California. Holy cow, that person must have been making some money, huh?
The speculation was it was a bank robbery.
Yeah. The guy that came in, the kids that came in today to the gold shop to sell their dad's gold, it was almost $1.5 million worth of these bars and old coins. And they didn't know anything about it. It wasn't part of their savings plan. It wasn't. The dad died almost 3. They just found it.
But it's interesting though that somebody could take, 1,500 coins, which today would be worth maybe $2 million for just the bullion. But how much was the stash worth after a couple hundred years of being underground?
$10 million.
I
think it was more than that, wasn't it?
Well, the figures
that was the
bandied
early
around, the papers were 10 million, but like, I mean, that's the media. We don't know if it's going to hit 7 million or whatever. You know, I mean, there's the usual.
Right.
I mean, I read somewhere where one of the coins. I read somewhere where one of the coins was said to be over $1 million.
Right. It was a one-of-a-kind coin minted or made just after Lincoln was assassinated. There was no motto on it. I think it was 1865. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a one-of-a-kind coin made from the mint, so that one it will sell for a ton.
Wow. Now it's interesting that this person would have so much money, but not try to grow it, not try to make it into more money by lending it out. And you think about the timing of this. This was right after the Civil War when this person must have died. And there were people in California who were paying back their debts in greenbacks rather than paying it back in specie. So he probably made out better by not lending it out than just.
He could have died in prison. There was a guy that was caught for stealing a load of money from a bank at that time.
Yeah.
He did die in prison.
I mean, we should also look at it as though it was their last 1,500 gold coins. Maybe they had an absurd amount of money, and that was just a way of preserving some of it or hiding some of it. We don't know what thefts were like.
The thing here is that we find that a lot of the people who are not the middle class, but the people who are very poor are buying gold, and they keep saving it and hoarding it. And the reason they do that is because they're saving it for an emergency, if something was to happen to them, and then they save it if something was to happen to their children or their grandchildren, and they die not spending it.
Gold lies very still.
Savings. Yeah, there is that aspect to it. Generational savings, family heirlooms.
Yeah.
And of course that means it's off the market, and it means there's a higher price on that other gold which gets sold, or silver.
Yeah. Once it goes into the hoard, it stays there.
Yeah.
Until somebody finds it buried in a coffee can.
Well, now, the 1970s is an interesting example because you can actually see what makes silver come out of the woodwork. The price of silver went sky high, and people were melting down their family silverware. I don't know if any of you have ever tried this, but get onto Google and do a search for a set of silver tableware. They call it flatware, is the phrase. And having done that and found out just how few suppliers there are of something which is now becoming an extreme luxury, you'll be surprised. Now go on to and look for a used or an antique set, and you're going to find that this is something which is almost non-existent in its antique form. There are lots of loose knives or forks, whatever, available, but when it comes to sets, not so many. And this is because of the 1970s melt. Now, the other thing was discovered was if people could be impoverished enough, they would trade in their precious to kind of get back on top or get back on their feet or just to eat. So the powers that be, I mean, they have quite literally found. I mean, the way to get people to get rid of their holdings in the market is to run the price up and run it again. Volatility does the business. The danger is that it breaks out on the upside. But in the meantime, what they like to do is shake the tree. Now, when we look at what's available, we can actually look back through history and we can say, well, silver has been up very high and now is being kind of pushed down to the low side. You know, you can actually look at a certain pattern that's there, and you can sort of use the market, the shape of the market chart, to kind of give you an indication of how much loose metal there is out there. You know, it's a funny thing.
There was a great article on the melt. I hope to do a future video on it. It's one of my. I literally read this once a year. It was great because the irony was all of the common dates were sent to the melter, thinking that there was no value to them, and they ended up creating a lot of key dates out of it. And previous dates ended up being more abundant than they realized. I mean, it was just one of those ironic twists that was a result of the melts. They were basically saying that they were so backed up, they got sick of even looking through anything, and it just all went in. I mean, $50 in 1979, that was a lot of money today. It was a lot of money back then. It'd be a lot of money today, let alone back then.
Right.
I bought a pickup for $4,500.
So here's the thing. So a lot of people buy today based on that philosophy that that's going to happen again. And I mean, I would caution anybody with that mentality thinking that there's going to be another huge melt and everything's going to the smelter. I'm not really convinced that that's going to happen quite the same. I mean, it certainly could.
There's two things you can say about that. One is the internet is educating people on the way they get ripped off if they want to try and find out. The second is when we look around, most of them don't want to find out. So I don't know. It might just make things more extreme. You might find that misinformation on the internet forces people who don't really know any better to unload sooner or easily. I mean, the internet is full of misinformation when it comes to, and especially out of the mainstream media, especially out of the big outlets. I'm not going to mention names. Now, so I don't know. I think what you might find is that the core, the majority of people who don't really unload the stackers, or maybe, I mean, they are possibly getting closer to the mentality of the Rothschilds. It's in the sense of appreciating what they have and what happens to it over time. But the great mass of people probably no different from any time.
Yeah, I think we're in a bit of a different position than the super wealthy, right? Most of the super wealthy don't have to worry about making more wealth, right? They're just afraid of losing it. So they
Right.
take defensive positions. They're not very aggressive with their wealth. They don't take a lot of chances, and they can do things conservatively, and they can wait. On the other hand, you have people who are saving for goals and saving for retirement, and most of them don't want to set aside a very large portion of their disposable wealth. Saving 20, 30, 35% of your net income for the average middle class person is very, very difficult. And so the easiest thing to do is to sell that person a dream that all they need to do is invest in one thing or another and wait for a big return. And I'll be honest with you, I think the easiest way to make sure that you don't meet your goals is to buy something and hope that it's going to increase in value tremendously. I don't think the metals are meant to be. I think the metals are meant to be a rock bottom, stable store of wealth, and you buy them as low as you can, and you just do it diligently with a great percentage of your income, and you'll find that over time that produces results.
Now, you know why everyone's buying silver over gold, don't you? Precisely the opposite sense that you just expressed.
Can you clarify that?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
Expand
it's
on?
going to the moon, the old chap. It's going to the moon, to the stratosphere, outer space, John. It'll never stop.
Well, part of the problem
There's no downside, no downside at all.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean
right.
that's kind of a caricature that people use to portray people that do buy silver. But one of the things that
I'd use it
makes
to
it
describe
so
people who sell
appealing.
silver.
Well, one thing that makes it so appealing to the average person is literally, what do you do when you're starting with literally zero money? You have no savings whatsoever, and you save your first $50 bill. Do you go out and open up a brokerage account? Do you stick it in a piggy bank? I mean, where does that $50 go? You can go out and you can get started with just a couple ounces of silver, and you're off and running.
Silver is actually very suited for that kind of accumulation. It's
Exactly.
beautiful for that.
Exactly, and once you get started, it doesn't take long to really start accumulating a serious amount. I mean, that's what I found when I started buying early on, because I started at literally zero.
Exactly.
Right. As I was buying, I was like, wow, this is really starting to accumulate, and I started finding myself more and more motivated to keep adding to it. And before you know it, you have more than you ever thought you would.
But I think what's attractive about it is not as easy to spend as just going to the bank and pulling out money or going to the ATM. Like you said, you just have $50. It's a lot harder to keep that $50 in your wallet than it is to keep 2 eagles around.
Right.
You know, I'll agree on that.
And that's spot on.
And that's what really appealed to me, is I kind of fell into that without even realizing it. You know, made me a much better saver.
Yeah. But
I
important.
think it's official.
The important thing is
my mind is blown. You guys are blowing my mind.
I know you didn't come here thinking we'd learn something new, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious, man.
I'm
like,
just being serious.
Argent Agent and what's the lang? How do you say your name down there? With the dragon.
So I say blonde GP as a nod to Golden Pharaoh after that gold that he was showing us not too long ago.
B-Lang.
Just call him Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. I mean, you guys like talking about the markets and the history of things and how that all plays in, and you know.
Oh, you'll get sucked in once you start doing this. I can guarantee it. But you know, the Silverfish made a point, and that is that this is very good for just trying to save money. But what makes people like Silverfish successful is the fact that they're not like entertaining unrealistic expectations. You know, they know that the harder that they work and the more that they save, the bigger their pile is going to be over time.
Yeah.
So rather than assuming that you don't have to save much because price appreciation is going to bail you out, the thing to do is to focus on what gives you the best value right now, and just, you know, take as much of your disposable income as you're comfortable, you know, allocating to it, and just do it. Do it for a long time and be patient.
Right. He makes gambles too. You know, he buys that case with the gold dragons and stuff. I think he makes real power moves that he's not just basing off the price. You know, he's not just thinking it's going to the moon. He's like, oh, these are just going to be in demand later, and I'm just going to have them. You know, a little bit different. Just having.
Yeah.
With me, I mean, you know, this was one of the things that really attracted me to this. And even when I was paying the higher premiums, it was I've never had the ability to save. And what I mean by that is that, you know, I make a lot of money, and you know, I come from a well-off family. But at the end of the month,
I make a lot of money.
If at the end of the month I had, you know, whatever money I have left, I would actually go and take it out and spend it on something. So I would never, you know, keep it in the bank or, you know, put it for something else, because I knew there would be more money coming in. But with this now, I have a big savings.
Yeah, you can't think like that. Like that's short-sighted. Nah, it's got another check on the way. I'm gonna go out and party. Yeah, you get caught slipping doing that. Gonna sell.
We're all guilty of that.
I'm talking from straight experience. No, that's why it's making me laugh. Yeah, I've definitely had that thought in my head, like, no big deal, man. I'll just party this week, and next week I'll get the next check and supposedly save that.
Party that one too.
Exactly. No, yeah, I'll allegedly save that.
Well,
there is another advantage. there is another advantage to this over other types of investment, and it's this, that we, after a while, it dawns on us that there's no yield, there's no interest. So, I mean, until that point, we're probably comparing it to other investments, and we're thinking of our retirement fund or our, or saving it away or whatever. But after a while, it just truly gets in on us. There is no yield, no capital appreciation. And at that point, we start to focus on one, squirreling away as much as we can, which was mentioned. But we're forced into thinking about the other thing, which is buying at lows. Now, the entire of Wall Street is predicated on making the noddies and the wallies come in, spend their money, and buy at highs and buy it off the pros. And you can actually see that happened in the silver market 3 years ago. I mean, the market unloaded a fantastic amount of silver onto the innocents, and who got immediately slaughtered. But the point about it is, I would imagine if you checked out people's minds with some sort of psychology test, you would find that the people in Wall Street who got absolutely slaughtered in stocks in the 2008 crash, they haven't learned. Whereas you'll find that the people who got hammered in the metals have learned. And you see two different things. You see in Wall Street, you see it's hitting new highs, buy. Whereas in the precious metal blogosphere, you see it's hitting new lows, buy. And it takes a while for it to dawn, but I do believe that in the absence of a certain glam or marketing or something, I think that mindset of the hillbilly saving it and doesn't want any fancy kind of newfangled gizmos attached, I think that gets in on people sooner with metals, and they just start buying more wisely.
Have you seen what the stock market margin debt is at? So people really haven't learned their lesson, because here we are at a high and they're more leveraged up than ever.
They can't.
That's incredible.
They can't.
So Silverfish, they can't learn their lesson.
Exactly.
I mean, think about it. They're in a complete box right now. Okay, you have maybe two generations of people that have grown up with ERISA, and they've been saving for their retirement because their companies are no longer doing so. So they're putting money into their 401ks, which only allows them to invest in either bonds or stocks. And if they saved too little because they were sold a dream of 15% or more rates of return on stocks, they're facing a position right now where they got 5 years left to go, and they have $50,000 in their retirement plan. You take a look at the pension funds, and they're in the same position because they are required to only invest in stocks and bonds. And for years, including now, they're projecting what their needs are for full funding at an 8% per year rate of return. Now, how are you going to get that with bonds yielding 2%? They're playing catch up. They have absolutely no choice but to take the gamble on the stock market.
Always catch up.
Yeah.
The financial media is back to selling. The financial media is back to selling stories and not actually talking about fundamentals again. We see that with Tesla. We see that with Amazon. These high beta, high PE stocks, or no PE stocks in some cases, that are just going to absurd levels.
Well, it's easier to sell people a story than it is to sell them discipline.
That's a
Hell
fact.
yeah. Dude, everyone always wants a quick buck. No one wants to fucking take their time and slowly build it. Never. It's always now. How fast? How much? And they just pour it all in. Then it's gone. And then the pros just take it away.
And there are suckers for unreasonable certainty. If you say, yeah, it's going to the moon, or it's going to do this, what happens is people buy into that advice big time. Whereas realistic advice is always hedged with uncertainty. Well, if it does this, it might go further, or it does that. There are criteria. And you know what? No one wants to hear the criteria. I found that now when I put out a sort of a newsletter to people, or recommendation, that all they want is they want to cut through the crap. They just want to be told, buy now. That's it. Nothing else to do. So simple. They love it.
Well,
But they know deep in their heart and soul that this is bullshit. But they still love it. Look at every religious kind of I'll save your soul pitch. Look at every Wall Street pitch. Aren't they exactly the same? It's certainty being sold to people who fear doubt and fear the unknown. Or the work of learning.
All right, folks. Hey, speaking of discipline, my wife got home, and I'm going to be disciplined if I don't drop off this chat. So.
Yeah, I'm already catching. I was already catching.
I thought you were going to get some discipline there.
Oh. Ooh. That could be too. So anyway, I've really enjoyed it, folks, and hey, thanks Silver Siren for setting this up, and all of you, I've enjoyed talking to you. So thanks. Have a good night.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Thank you.
Catch up with you soon.
Bye, Belang.
Cheerio, Belang.
So, Silverfish, what did you wind up doing with your 401k? I remember your video about it.
It's still intact.
Okay.
I never really had the guts to do anything with it, and I can't liquidate it. The only option I have is to take a loan out on it because I'm still with my employer, and just taking out a big loan like that just didn't feel right. If I get laid off, then I would be eyeballing it a little bit differently. But paying the penalties and the taxes on it, I don't know. I just kept it where it is, and so far it's been the right decision. And you notice that the more metal that I accumulate, the less I feel like I have to do something like that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's why I was so interested in it, because I've got a pretty good chunk in Merrill Lynch account, and man, if I pull it, or you never know what to do for sure.
You're retirement age though, right?
Yeah, I'm already retired once and still working some.
Okay, so you don't have to face the penalty, so it's a bit of a different scenario.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could take some more out and not be hurt with penalties so much, but it's a gamble either way. You never know what to do.
Right.
You never will, unfortunately.
I'm content to.
I've got God, what is it? An investment that's drawing 3.5% right now. I mean, it's every year, same amount. When I started it, it was drawing 12. And I don't know whether to cash it in or go ahead and, you just don't know what to do.
3.5 is better than I'm getting.
No, I mean, it's not going to go below that. It's a guaranteed minimum. But, I mean, you pull the money out and buy something that's going to take off in silver and you're set.
I would, honestly, you're putting a lot of pressure on your investment when you're to take off, right? I think with silver, boring is better. Oh, I'm getting a stop script error here. I think when silver trades in a boring way, that's really the best thing for everybody, including the metal. Those parabolic moves both ways, the parabolic moves up and the crashes that we saw just a couple of years ago really are not healthy trading patterns, and it creates unrealistic expectations too. I think a nice slow and steady climb is what we could be in for. That's the hope anyway.
Oh, no, come on. Josh Galt loves the volatility.
Well, of course, he's a trader. He's a trader. But you know what? I sleep like a baby. When I was playing with high beta stocks, there were a lot of sleepless nights. God, I hope it really opens up tomorrow. Oh, it did. Whereas my metals are there, and I'm happy with them, and I don't worry about the day-to-day price movements.
Yeah, it's a lot
I
of
don't
pressure.
sweat it.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I don't worry about it either.
buying
If
the
you really knew
physical,
what you were doing, maybe it'd be worth it.
see, buying the physical can be regarded in two ways. You can say, I've put it away, I'm not going to worry about the day-to-day fluctuations. It's true. But, you know, someone else can restate that and say, but you're stuck with it. And they're right as well. So it's a plus and it's a minus. You know, I wouldn't call it an advantage. I just call it a difference. But it is good for discipline. It prevents us getting pushed in and out on the short term. It prevents us churning. That's a fact.
There are people on YouTube that are excellent traders. Okay, some of them make a living at it, and they make it look very easy. But I don't think we should forget that it's extremely difficult to make a lot of money in the market trading. I mean, if you remember all the day traders that got washed out during the go-go days of the tech bubble, I mean, that was when the market was moving up and people were getting washed out. You know, I watch these guys and I listen to them and I try to learn, but there's no way I'm going back to that.
Stressful
Yeah,
distance.
I look at my oldest son now is working for like $12 an hour at a pharmacy, and he's got a biology degree. You know, I don't see him having the same opportunities. I'd like to leave as much as I can to him and my younger son for their future, you know. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now.
Good point.
He doesn't have the opportunity to make the kind of money that I made, you know, 10, 20, 30 years ago.
No, we're actually creating generational problems for the kids coming up right now. This is absolutely a terrifying time to be graduating college, and that's kind of what I meant earlier was you're getting a whole new generation of kids that know nothing but, you know, financial strife, and it's going to give them pause. They won't have confidence in the financial system. You know, it's something that we just took for granted growing up, and that's something that they don't have.
I know. Maybe I can put him to work for Big Al. Man.
Are you hiring?
Just for tomorrow.
Well, you know, and it's all the more reason why if you're pursuing higher education, you have to be very careful about what it is you've decided to go and study.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you come home with $100 grand or $200 grand plus worth of college loans. I'll be right back.
So here's a take on that. And I'm actually stealing from a future. I'm stealing from a future video here. So basically, growing up, everything that we were told was you need to learn computers. That's the way. And we all thought we'd make $75,000 a year working in a cubicle, and everything would be just fine. And as a society, we've kind of grown soft, and that's really opened things up for people that go to trade schools, plumbers, electricians, roofers. You know, all those jobs are in demand and paying well because nobody wants to do them now, and many people aren't qualified. So if I were a kid, 22 years old, or 18, I guess, I'd go to trade school.
If you have no other prospects, yeah. Yeah, I look at that. The only problem with where I'm at is a lot of the Hispanics take that shit over, and they take really, really low wages, and it's hard to compete. You have to go to the nicer areas around the land, and the people that want white people to do their work, then they pay good. But I agree with you saying, man. I know in my personal experience, I was indoctrinated to think that you got to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that, and I've watched the same thing happen around me. I got friends that are welders and stuff, and I look at them and I'm like, damn, I don't want to be a welder or anything, but at least they're making $30 an hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
21, 22.
Man, welders make like $50 an hour.
Yeah, and these guys are apprentices. Well. These guys are my age. They're apprentices. I guess I'm a couple of years older than them. They're about 20, 21, and they're making $30 an hour, and that's damn good. They didn't go to college or anything. They just got high school diplomas.
That's exactly right.
It's kind of scary. Kind of pisses me off.
I mean, in all honesty, though, how many 15-year-old kids say, I want to be a plumber?
None. That's what I'm saying. You're indoctrinated to think otherwise. You're indoctrinated to think that's a loser or something. But like you said, we're soft. No one does their own plumbing, so you need a plumber.
Right.
I mean, so.
And you know what? They're all emergencies with plumbers. You call up if you have a pipe burst. I remember not too long ago we had Yeah, we had some septic issues, and I tried to get a plumber, and they kept turning me down because they were so busy. And I told them it was an emergency, and they said, "Buddy, they're all emergencies." And they're right. So they can charge whatever they want.
Damn it! No, it's an eye opener, especially for someone like me that's 23 who's trying to figure out what they're gonna do and what. You know, I don't want to be a plumber because I consider myself educated or whatever. I have a college degree, but I don't know what to make of it now. You know, if I go farther, and like you said, all that debt would put so much pressure on me. I don't feel like going farther without the appropriate passion. You know,
I'm in the same position right
I don't know
now.
what to do, man. I have a good, solid degree from a solid university, in my opinion. So I just got. I was working somewhere recently. I just stopped. I was at a startup, but it's just so dysfunctional. You know, we had 30-40% of the people leave, and me being one of them as well. So it just, I don't know. Now I just feel like I'm starting from square one again. At least I got a stack under my belt. I didn't have that 6 months ago.
No, you've been doing well.
Yeah, but I was doing pretty well. Now I'm slowing down here, but I'm still relatively doing well.
All right, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know, kind of what I was saying, man. You got to be careful about what you're studying because you need to make sure that there's going to be a job for you when you're done.
Yeah, like my youngest is a theater major right now, and he, thinks he's going to be a professional actor. Well, more power to him, but man, that doesn't seem like it's got a future to me.
What was that again? That doesn't have a future? I didn't hear you.
He's a theater major.
Well,
He wants to be
unless
a
you become
professional actor. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say unless you become an actor, it's a big time, and yeah, it might not do too hot.
Yeah, so that's brutal when a kid has dreams like that.
Yeah,
but
you can
they're
always
really
be a porn star.
My daughter, when she kind of came to her age, she had the idea that she'd like to be in the fashion industry, and somehow. So the time came when they were all going from school out to do their outplacements and get a week in here and a week in there and whatnot. And we got her organised that she did a week in a fashion magazine as well as 2 other in placements, which we considered a little bit more realistic. And well, she got in there and she found that it wasn't glam; it was very, very much drudgery. And she thought through by being exposed to it inside. At a young age, she saw the falseness of it all.
Fucking,
and that could have
good.
backfired on us big time. That really could have been wrong, but that's how it worked out, and it worked out well.
I think it's good. You know, make them. I wish earlier on I wish I had a reality check and stuff I thought I wanted to do. You know, I wish I had gone somewhere and shadowed a lot earlier, shadowed doctors or did things like that, and I would have found out real quick I didn't want to do that or this. The only thing I did early on is I thought I wanted to be an engineer, and I went and did a drafting thing outside school, and I realized, hell no, I don't want to do this.
All right, so I know you're not going to want to hear this, but it sounds really weird hearing a 23-year-old guy say, back in the day, or I wish I did this. I mean, you're right at the point now where you can do anything you want.
No, I was just saying, I wish before I had gotten my degree, I had done a little more investigation. Yeah, so I guess I don't mean back in the day. I wish 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I wish I had done a little more what your daughter did. Not enough of us do that, people my age. None of us really go out and see. All of us have these, like I was saying, we're indoctrinated to be like, oh, we're all going to be lawyers, we're all going to be doctors. I mean, there's so many things out there that you don't even know, couldn't even name the jobs, All the jobs I've had in my life, I could have never named them. They weren't lawyer. I don't know, it's hard for me to explain. I'm still really young, but it's just so much out there, and I have a biochemistry degree. That's what I have a degree in, so I just don't know what to fucking do, man. I really don't. Give me ideas, guys. What should I do?
The problem is guidance counselors and parents seem like they're ill-equipped to prepare these kids for these huge financial decisions they have to make right out of the gates, and it's unfortunate.
They have too much bias. My parents have too much bias. They put a lot of bias on me for wanting adulation or in success and things that they wanted, praise, which doesn't motivate me as much. I look more for internal things and external things. I would be fine making 60,000 would be plenty for me. I wouldn't even care. I used to think I wanted all this nice stuff. I really don't care, man. I just want to not think about money. I I won't start up any debt. I don't have any now, so if I just keep going on how I'm going, I just buy food, rent, do whatever, just live basic, man. I don't need anything fancy. I just want something that doesn't make me want to kill myself when I'm at work. That's all I want, is something that doesn't make me miserable.
Yeah, but I mean that changes once you get married and you've got kids and you've got responsibilities.
I don't want to do that.
Children.
I ain't gonna have kids, man. I really don't think I'm gonna have kids. I'm not. The way I grew up just is not good. I'm just not that type of person. I'm way too selfish. I don't know. People say you change, but I just don't know, man.
You do change. Kids, I mean, getting married will change you, but children will really change you.
I know children. It sets off a whole biological thing where you're like, I live for this person now. I almost think I have people that are really young that have kids, and they say that helped motivate them to get their life back on track. But it's like, I don't think I want a kid to get my life back on track. Does that make any sense? I don't know. I have people that are really young and dumb, and they have kids right now. And they're like, man, I don't know. Before I had this kid, though, I didn't really care about my life. Now I care about it a lot more because I got this guy I got to worry about. Or I don't know. I can't even imagine that. Killed the room.
Be smart and get started early. What's that supposed to mean?
She's trying to get him hooked up.
Don't have kids until you're ready. That's all I can tell you. I don't care how
I think
old
she's
you are.
talking more about finding a mate, like someone that's, a girl that builds you up. A girl that builds you up. I know what she's saying. I had a girl for a little bit that we were both, when I was in college, she was a genetics major, I was biochemistry, and we really helped each other build each other. Most of the time, our relationships would be subtracting. They take money from me, I take pleasure from them. We're both miserable. We're both miserable on the inside.
Marcus.
Well, I think most people gravitate.
Be a little prick over there.
I don't need a match. I'm more worried about my career than that, man.
He's on the Christian Mingle website. What are you talking about?
Find your match. It's fine. Holla.
Farmers only.
Farmers only.
Sorry, I don't know.
He's like, hey, wait a minute, that's the one I'm on.
I don't want to go there, man. I don't want to see that. That's scary.
Oh, man.
I don't know what that's going to be. Hey, Fi, do you know Stefan Molin, something, whatever?
Molin,
philosopher?
yeah.
You remind me of him.
The philosopher guy, yeah.
You remind me of him a little bit.
Oh, silverfish cacked out.
What's that?
Silverfish cacked out.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he might have just had something.
Dude, I gotta say, man, I love being in this room, man. It's awesome to hear everyone's different perspectives. It's seriously, it's crazy.
I love the internet, man. Me too.
Like, it's just great to hear everyone's opinions.
Absolutely, man. What would life be without different perspectives and angles? I know I've benefited greatly from hearing other people talk over the internet. Start little things in my head, little seeds.
Yeah, I don't think I would have bought what I bought if it wasn't for watching bitches.
It's just
that's true. That's
like
true.
everyone has such varying perspectives, man. It's seriously like everybody brings something really cool to the table for discussion.
Yeah, man. Some people are from other countries, all over the U.S., and that's got its own diversity. Different brackets of financial, so everyone's got their own little way of saving or making money. Yeah, I love it, man. Some people hustle the hell out of silver and gold. I love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Little tricks.
The hustling part is amazing, guys.
Yeah, I love that.
I didn't do that until I started watching Silver New Jacks, and actually I came to a point where I was like, I'm not gonna buy any more silver just because I'm buying gold at 1% and 2% and silver at 40-50% premiums. But when I started selling, and I could sell, and I'm selling Silver Eagles for $45, $50. It's just an amazing feeling to go in there and come out with that money in your pocket.
Yeah, man, same as selling drugs. What? No.
Oh, he's a new Jack Hustler.
No. Yeah, man.
Look
He's
at
a
it.
new Jack Hustler.
Look at it. It's that new thing. Here's this thing. Oh yeah, you can't get back
Silver
in. There's too many
Sirens in
people
the chat
now.
box that Silverfish Vermont is finding it hard to get back in.
Yeah, all right, well, I'm gonna go sleep anyway, so I'll catch you guys next time we have one of these.
He's got his
And
chance.
make a video on those gold bars when you get them.
Yeah, if I get them. Let's see how much
Oh,
he's gonna charge tomorrow.
Well,
Take it easy,
man,
big
if I was
Al.
you, I'd get them all.
I might try. All right, guys. Good night.
Have a good one, buddy.
Old man Rocky joined.
What he's doing, he's here, fool.
Shit.
Dude, his voice like reminds me of that Vine with that guy singing the Drake song. Like Grandpa doing Drake.
Hey, we don't listen to Drake.
No, it's like a parody. It was like this.
Oh.
It was like an older guy doing Drake. He's like, started from the bottom, now we here.
What's that? I didn't hear that.
It was like this old.
Say it
old
again?
guy. Huh?
I was just messing. I was like, say it again, you know.
Nobody
why
likes
you
Drake.
Keep repeating that.
You gotta, dude, you gotta watch the
here.
video. It's funny.
No,
It's
I've
just
seen
like-
it. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, the old guy sitting in the chair and he's like, "Get the fuck away from me, you motherfucking queer."
Yeah. This shit's funny, man. Some great vines out there.
Silverfish here?
He slid out. His computer crashed or something. He was trying to
In right now
restart.
if he tries. There's only 9
Yeah,
people.
Atomic-
The
Right, he's on his way.
difficulty is I think there's a limited number of people that can be on
Yeah, there's
camera
10.
or
There's 10, but there's only 9 right
There's
now.
one slot, so
with full privileges.
there's room for one more.
Yep, there it is.
Well, he should be back in a second. If need be, I'll sign out. I'm kind of coming to the end of my little piece of string.
I was say, what's it? 1 o'clock in the morning there?
10 to 12.
Okay. Oh, so you're 4 hours, 3 hours?
GMT.
4
5
hours.
hours ahead. 5 hours ahead of EST.
It's 10 to 8 here.
So you're 10 to 1 or 10 to 12, you said?
I'm at 12:40. I'm 11:49 p.m.
Yeah,
You're
so you're
4
hours
you're
ahead.
4 hours ahead of EST.
Yeah. I'll be up tomorrow at work while you're fast asleep.
I hope so.
Counting sheep.
I'll be fast asleep
Having
when
said
you
that-
get home. By the time you get home, I'll still be fast asleep. Just kidding.
Argent Agent will be out hustling for his pot of gold.
Dude, he's hustling so hard, man. I was talking to him recently. He's trying to get me all worked up and stuff. I don't know. I probably should try to get with him, but that dude did something really crazy at the National Coin Show.
Well, what do you do?
He goes around the tables and he picks out coins and he has them cracked out and regraded at the coin show, and he flips them at the coin show, and he made a couple grand, more than a couple grand on a couple.
Who did?
coins. He did. He's fucking insane, dude. He's genius.
Who? Argent Agent?
I don't know how much I should say, but he told me that he picked out. He picked out a coin that was MS60, and when he had it regraded, it ended up being the finest known of that coin.
Bam!
What
And he
coin
sold it
was
for
it?
a very good profit. Very good profit. 5-digit profit.
What coin was it?
I can't remember. I kind of remember, but I don't want to be wrong. I'll just tell you that he got the finest known. He had it restored, I guess. It had all this, what's it called on it? It had all this tarnish, and he had it restored, and bought it for like $450. Sold it for 12 grand.
What do you mean restored? Cleaned up?
Restored as in PCSG will do electrolysis on it.
I have to sign out now, so I'll leave you all to it. It's been fine. I enjoyed myself.
Have a good day at work. It's good talking to you.
Take care.
Bye.
Who was that? I didn't even get to insult him.
Dude, that guy knows his shit, man.
He's a professor.
Wow. Yeah, he knows his shit. Wow. Like when he starts talking, it's like the steam, like smoke and shit, comes out of my ears.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, like my brain starts overheating.
Well, that's why if you ever listen to Stefan no, I can't say his last name. It's a shame. Stefan Malinox or something like that. He's a really famous professor on YouTube personality. He sounds just like him. It's the same way they just spit. I mean, it just keeps coming.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. So silverfish isn't coming back, huh?
Judas Malby channel.
How'd he do while he was on? Tell his story about his kids?
Somebody said Rocky's coming on, and Silverfish was like, "Oh my God, I gotta go."
What's that?
It's Nate's half.
He's hating on Rocky right now. That's terrible.
What's the Canadian? You cut the Canadian off.
Hey, look at that silver-plated chain.
Yeah, 100% silver clad.
Silver-plated steel clad.
100% silver clad.
I was watching a video the other day. The guy giving a review about some like bling or whatever. And he's like, "This is 14-karat necklace, and here's a sterling necklace. I bought them both for $20." I'm like, "Oh, this has got to be fake." And he's like, "Yep." He puts them on a scale, and they're like huge, like 24-inch chains. You know, it goes down to like his waist, and they only weigh like less than an ounce. And I was just laughing. So I'm like, "Dude, if that was gold or silver, it would weigh so much." It was kind of funny. He was like, "Man, these look so nice. Like it's not cheap or anything. They're so heavy." I don't know. It's funny. They're definitely.
I got
sold them a chain full of kryptonite, huh?
They were plated. No, they were light plated shit. Can't remember some company, something bling. You know, there's like a lot of companies out there that sell fake rapper bling.
One day I'll show you guys my chain. My chain's crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You guys can pull my chain whenever you want.
Whoa now.
Oh.
Forgot to call no homo on that.
Shit, man. Hey, Rocky, I haven't gotten back to you, by the way, as you've probably seen. I've been so busy, man, and I've been meaning to message you, so hopefully I can message you tonight or something, alright?
I just wanted to, just on the new name for my falcon.
What's that?
I wanted to give you the new name for my falcon.
You got a pet falcon.
He's got a coin that's a pet falcon.
Yeah, it's $50, right?
No, this is Jake.
Oh, I thought I was talking to $50 because we always kid back and forth. He shows an elephant and says, "Yeah, what would your falcon do with the elephants?" And I said, "He'd fly down, pluck their eyes out, and these large lumbering beasts would be roaming in darkness in sub-Saharan Africa."
$50 has a high pitched voice.
See you, Marcus.
Is he in here? I think $50.
I think he just left.
Oh yeah, he said bye a couple minutes ago.
Old guy, awesome.
Who's Morgan? I've never seen that guy before.
Morgan Ritchie, he's the one with the red shirt on the Canadian. He's from Upper Alberta.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of silver-plated chains.
I think his. Yeah.
When I was a child, when I was like in my teens, like early teens, like 13, I went to Walmart and I thought that Walmart chains were real, and I bought a silver chain over there, and I found it recently, and the fucking silver's all peeled off and it's like copper inside.
Well, save the silver.
Yeah, I thought it was real, man. I went to I was like 13. I went to Walmart. I paid like a few $100 for a silver chain. I find it now. It's all fucking peeling and shit.
Jeez, man, they hustled you big time.
Yeah.
They probably pocketed that. They probably put, the $10 into the register it really cost, and the $10 $90.
Yeah.
That's an old trick, man. I used to sell snow cones at fairs, and I'd say they were $3 when they were $2. Take $1. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I made that up.
No, you didn't. Don't lie.
Yeah, I know I didn't. It was
Stealing
really
money from
I
kids.
know. Well, I lied in the opposite direction. They were really $1. That's why I was actually pocketing 2. Hey man, you gotta make shit work when you're a kid, or just a person. It's like me. I work the angles, bro. Wish I had an under the table job. That'd be kind of fun. Not pay taxes. Joking, of course.
Hey, just go. Never mind.
I worked at a gas station one time under the table. When I was in second year of that. So I guess it was only 3 years ago. Second year of college. I worked at a gas station under the table. I don't even think
I used to do landscaping work under the table.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the best kind. Yeah, labor kind of work like that, of course. Yeah, I used to when I was in high school, I would help install school furniture in new schools, like unbox desks and stuff, take them off trucks. I got $11 an hour under the table, and that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I guess that's good in the States.
That was for dope.
No, it was dope. I mean, that was the motivation to get the jobs, yes, but gotta apply the high. Keep it going. I'd work stoned all day. Get stoned.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
He's back.
Hey. I got some stuff in the mail today.
What'd you get?
Oh, dude, I see some Sour Punch straws. Those are good.
Yeah, man. Here's a roll of Mercury dimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I got some gold in the mail. Let me go get it.
Quick, grab them dimes before he comes back.
It looks like they just disappeared.
No one can touch my Mercury dimes.
Hey, how much did you pay for the dimes? You pay over spot?
I paid
guessing
$99.60 for the roll.
I think that's pretty good.
So was that over spot?
I don't know.
Yeah, wait.
You bought them and you don't know how much you paid.
Plus $1.50, $1.51 or $1.53, something like that.
Man, you guys should sell some stuff to him.
I'm the junk man. I got a shitload of junk if you want to buy them. I'll sell them to you through eBay.
Oh wait, hold on. No, I didn't pay 98. Hold on. Let me get the receipt. I paid less than that.
Oh, look at those pandas. You just buy those?
Yeah, I just got these. These are the early release 2014s. I'm waiting for
Fuck you. Those are gold plated. I don't believe it.
the 1 ounce is coming in the mail from Modern Coin Mart.
I won't believe it till you crack them
anyone
out.
interested
You gotta
in
crack them out and scratch them out of stone. I don't believe it. You gotta acid test them.
Anyone interested in 2011 pandas? 1 ounce over?
Yeah, how much are they? I'll give you
If you have any 2010s and prior, then I'm interested.
All I got is 11s.
$10 an ounce. Alright, I'm joking. 20.
So I'm just missing the. Well, I got the 1 ounce coming for the 14. I'm missing still for the 13 to complete.
I'll give you a 13. I got a 13. I'm selling free shipping. $29. Let's do it right now. That's a good deal.
Oh, I got something else in the mail.
I got it right in front of me. $29. Original mint capsule.
It's gonna be hard.
I only put it in my bare hands a few times.
Did Silverfish stop by?
Nah, man, he never came. He fucking stood us up.
I'm trying to. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
What's that? What was that? Say that again?
I'm back in.
You guys see this on my desk?
No, what is it?
I kept getting.
You guys see it?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Click on my camera.
Fucking mute me.
You see this wooden box?
I'll slow it down. Oops, I'm showing myself. My glory.
Uh-oh, what do you got over there?
Just a little beer.
No, I'm talking
Oh, man,
about it is a little box over here.
Yeah, see, this is the Lunar Series 2. I got this box in the mail, and I'm just waiting for one more coin to come in the mail, and I got everything up to now for the 1 ounce coins.
Oh, shit.
You need to
that's what
open that
came
up.
in the mail today. 4 pieces of gold, a little bit of junk, and that box. And I can put my 1 ouncer in.
Alright, I'm gonna go get some beer. I'll be back.
Look, man. Sometimes when
Good
you're
idea.
when you're inebriated, you spend more money than you usually do. You know.
Hey, man. Absolutely.
Freaking Silverfish is so focused on saving money for gold and silver that he sits there in the dark with no lights on.
And doesn't have time to join the chat.
We have I have a soft light.
He's got candles, man.
That's how he saves money for silver.
I got candles.
Can you guys hear me?
What's that?
yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Because I'm having issues with my computer.
Yeah, you're having audio issues. You keep
on
cutting out still.
Oh, great.
I can hear
We can hear you. It's just it keeps cutting out. You know.
We're auto tune, so it's like.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So, you ever hear of a Wizard Coin Supply store, like that website?
I never heard it.
Just an idea, but if you go on their site, there are like these wooden cases that are for like 5 slabs, like a display case. And I see people selling that same thing that they sell on that website for $50 on eBay, and on that website they sell it for $24.95.
I'd buy it on the website.
What?
I said I'd buy it on the website.
Well, I bet you that's what a lot of people do is they buy it from that website and then flip it on eBay.
Did you go to sold listings and see if anyone successfully sold them at 50?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I guess that's your new way to double your money.
No, I don't got the time for that, but it was just interesting. But
there's a lot of stuff like that on eBay. It boggles my mind.
yeah, it was good that I researched it and found, what its price really should be.
That's common with Monarch Precious Metals. Monarch Precious Metals, people will buy the 1-ounce bars on the website for whatever and sell it for $5-6 more a piece. Crazy.
I mean, I figured, and it's weird, because, some of the other boxes, I found, the 2-ounce Lunar Series box, cheaper there than anywhere else on eBay, but it's the opposite for, generic wooden boxes that hold slabs. It's totally weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ugh.
Man, look at all those pandas. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man, I'm going panda crazy. I'm going to have 2 full gold sets soon.
Damn.
What I really want is one of those 5-ounce coins that they make.
Damn. I keep hearing, Facebook things or something. I keep thinking it's me.
Yeah, but dude, you got all those proof eagles, man. I'm jealous of that.
Me? I don't got no proof eagles.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, no, I got proof quarters. Those proof quarters.
You got stake quarters? I don't have those.
No, I bought a roll of quarters and they all came as proofs one time.
So you just kept them?
Yeah, I don't know. You said something about proofs. I wasn't sure what you're talking about. That's all. Yeah, I kept them.
Yeah, I thought you were FT Ideas for a second.
I am. I'm FT and JSCH.
Oh, okay. You have a split personality.
Nah, man. I'm born identity. I'm also Rocky too.
Those proof quarters that you got, Jay, were those the ones you got from Provident? They're like 63s and 64s?
Yes, sir.
Yo, you should flip those. Those go for money on eBay.
I should flip them, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
one by one or 4 at a time?
Dude,
that's one thing I was trying to think
People
about.
go crazy for proof quarters and proof Franklins on eBay.
Yeah, I know that for sure. What do you guys think, though, about the proof quarters? Sell them individually or sell them 4 at a time? Because I know with PayPal, every time you make a sale, it's
individually.
cents and things like that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is you got to factor in the shipping.
Well, the shipping will be okay because I might mail. If it's 1 by 1, I just mail them in letters, and I have a bunch of rolls that I stole from work with envelope stuff that I left allegedly.
So then it would cost you what? How much is a stamp these days?
It would be free, like I said. I have a couple rolls of those $50 forever stamps that I got for free. Allegedly.
Hey, did Silverfish come in there?
Yeah, that's what I should do, right? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because if eBay takes 10% and then PayPal takes 3% or whatever it is,
it's not too bad.
It's probably better to sell them
individually. $7-8 a piece too. I bet I could sell them $7-8 a piece. I'm pretty good at selling stuff on eBay.
Yeah, man. And what you should do is, are you going to do a fixed listing or are you just going to auction them?
I would do an auction, but I would start it at $5.99 minimum, and then I would do shipping would be $157. I've learned that those numbers somehow really get people. The $157 for shipping is great. Like when I do the letter, because like I said, the stamps are free, and then what's it called? And then I'll start listings off. It's weird stuff like $4.89 or this or that, and like more than I'd. Like, as long as it went for that, I'd be happy. Because, like I said, I got those roll of proof quarters for like $160, $165. Pretty crazy.
See, I won't signature delivery confirmation.
Would I do that?
No, I wouldn't sell eBay with that. I wouldn't mail them without delivery confirmation. There's just too many people out there scamming sellers.
You'll never make money then. What you do is when you make the listing, you create buyer requirements. Like I make buyer requirements, a certain amount of feedback, a certain amount of no. I've never had a problem mailing out letters. It does seem risky, but every single person has always been awesome. What I do is I look at their feedback, and there are people that buy coins all the time, and these people are just happy to get it. I don't know. I've never been scammed.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get that one guy that shits the bed, and you're gonna.
That's okay. Shits the bed on $5. That's all right. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, we're talking like small money.
Yeah, I only do things by letter that are really small, like a coin or two. Yeah.
My rule of thumb is anything over $50 I use priority because it includes the insurance and tracking, and anything $250 and up is signature confirmation.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's about the same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, signature confirmation's a pain in the ass. I kind of hate it, even though I know it's for my protection, and they're, no one's ever fucking home,
They don't even do that shit down here.
No, Jay, not signature confirmation.
Delivery confirmation?
Not signature confirmation, delivery confirmation.
Oh, okay, that's a lot different. Yeah, okay, that's.
No, for expensive items I use signature. No.
If it's expensive, every time I sell gold, I do signature. I pay the extra $2. Listen.
Why do you have your camera just pointed at your chest?
Because I don't want to show my face. And I feel like turning it on after a while.
Something beautiful.
So apparently Siren is running a pretty tight ship. I see she's muting people here willy-nilly.
I could unmute myself if I want to. I was just leaving it. I could unmute myself if I wanted to.
Silverfish, why is it so dark where you live? Damn.
It's Vermont, man. They don't get any sun.
Yeah, it's like a here. We're in our 24 hours of light.
You're going to get some snow tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to get pounded.
Man, it's never going to end.
My bed dark.
It was 80 degrees here today.
Yeah, it was about 75 where I'm at. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah.
That's why my t-shirt, I'm in a white tee, and I'm fucking rednecking it.
No.
Redneck with my Coors Light. Drinking some that silver bullet because I'm a silver stacker.
Silverfish, how do people exercise up there if it's so damn cold?
We don't.
So is everyone fat in Vermont?
No, just me.
I did 35 miles on my bike today, and I feel great. Mexico weather for the win.
Man, it's quiet in here. Like someone farted and no one wants to claim it.
I can start doing a, what's it called, a sales show. We'll just start doing it one by one.
Oh god, I hate those guys on HSN that sell coins.
Starting off, we have a $5 1989, mint sealed, Canadian maple, just $100, two payments of $6. You're good to go. We've got a 10-ounce bar for $2,000. You know, so
I would love for like someone to call up on that HSN channel when they're selling coins one night and tell them that they don't know what they're talking about. But they'd probably never let you through as a caller.
Nah, they'd screen you. Oh, you're not a gullible old person? Right.
Yeah.
Actually, Silver and News Unit on the last Hangout were talking about having a live auction on one of these live Hangouts.
Yeah.
I'll do it right now, man. I got shit to sell. I really do want to sell this. Anyone want this? $29, free shipping, first class package tracking.
For the beer can?
It's a good deal. No, it's a 2013 Panda. I think that's a good deal.
For how much?
For $100. I'm just kidding. No, for $29, I'll give you first class shipping free. If you're in the U.S., of course. No, if you're outside the U.S. It's in its mint. Shitty mint capsule that's rounded for some reason.
We got a 2012 here. That's the only loose Panda I have. Everything else is graded.
This is the only Panda I have, period. I'm ready to sell it.
Why, you're like against pandas?
No, I have nothing against them. I think they're great. They're nice. Nope, just liquidating some stuff. I'm simplifying the stack. Whoa, what's this kid? This kid looks... Junior. What's up, Junior? I have seen you before. Never mind. I left last time because me and you got into it a bit.
You talking about me?
All right, guys.
Yeah, I kept saying, how old are you? I
gotta call it a night.
All right, see you later.
Yeah,
Silver.
Thanks, Silver Siren, for setting this
the
up.
lights turn on there.
Take care, guys.
I hope you get your power back soon.
Yeah. Wait, is this power literally out?
Yeah, man.
No.
Brutal
Generator
blizzard.
running just for live hangout.
$35 people really watching this? Scary.
Holy mackerel. Well, come on, somebody. I need one more sub for 1,500.
No way, really?
I got you beat still. I haven't posted in like 8 months and I still got you beat.
How many, what are you talking about? Beating what? Subs?
Yeah, hell yeah.
How many subs you got?
I had like 2.5k, but I've been posting in like 8 months. So a bunch of people went sub. Now I got like 2.
What kind of channel are you? You video game channel?
Hell yeah. Well, I used to be, then I stopped uploading.
Well, you still are. You just haven't uploaded. You still are a game channel.
I guess.
I don't know. Dude, what are you gonna start doing now? Are you gonna bring back the channel? You gonna start making money again?
Dude, I don't even know, man. It's just a lot of time and shit.
A lot of time and shit. And you look real busy right now. Real busy right now.
Dude, I just got home from a 35-mile bike ride. Get off.
35-mile bike ride. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you're like a professional bike rider now?
Your ass must be sore from sitting on that seat.
Nah, I got padded shorts.
How long did it take?
I always get like sore when I ride.
I wrote it down in my phone notes. Where's my phone? Let me check. Let me get the calculator. 2 hours and 15 minutes. So not even close to professional.
I'm still on that quest to find that 2013 PCGS Gold Panda. I can't find it anywhere.
Dude, I'll help you find that if you help me find my 10th ounce 2008 Lunar.
Which one was it again? Which animal?
The mouse. The 2008.
It was just a loose one, right?
Just no, one in the capsule. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it could be loose. Yeah, no, not graded.
2008 mouse.
Yeah, a rat, whatever you want to call it.
And it's 10th ounce, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, if you can find one of those,
I'll take a
I'll
look.
be surprised.
It's hard. I mean, like, you know, like a lot of inventory on certain items, I just can't find anymore.
I don't know what it is. Well, that coin has a super low mintage because no one likes rats. They're a piece of shit. So. Rocky, how come you're never talking tonight? You're always talking.
Nothing to argue.
Complain about tonight? How was buying from Jared or whatever his name is? Did you go buy?
Did he